raise your hand if you don't plan to pledge your support to the party's eventual candidate. If you yourself don't win the nomination and don't refuse to run as a third-party contender.
I have no idea what that means. Could you please explain it? You used about 5,000 double negatives. I mean, can you just say it again slower? I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't know who wrote this, but they're fired.
I'm sorry, Mr. Trump, you cannot fire the writers of the questions for this debate, but I will repeat, as is what would happen at a spelling bee, so why not do it here? Okay, so raise your... You all have understood, and you are all raising your hands. Well, okay. So if that isn't clear to the people at home, nobody here has any allegiance to the Republican Party.
That's not what was said. You put words in our hands, which are not mouths. Well, you know what? Now it is. Tom Brokaw, go yourself.
Well, that's going to be very expensive. I do want to remind people if they choose to curse, it will be $1 million per curse word, and I'm pretty sure only one of you can afford that.
That's right. I can say fuck as much as I want because I'm a fucking billionaire, and you can all go fuck yourselves. And it really doesn't matter, does it?
I suppose it doesn't. That was $4 million. I will be keeping count, just for those of you at home who like numbers.
When you were compared to Adolf Hitler on Good Morning America, you said, that's terrible. Is that because the comparison is terrible? Or are you confused about who he is?
I would have done a much better job than Hitler. Basically, he had terrible management. And I'm great at management. No one is better at management than me. I went to a very good school. I did. I went to an Ivy League school. I use great words. The words I use are great. I can say fuck, shit, cunt, pussy, I can, but I don't have to.
By the way, that is another $4 million.
Oh, great. You know, I really don't care. Tom Brokaw, I mean, what have I not said yet? I don't know. By the way, George Carlin is a great guy. I love his joke about baseball.
If you knew that you could change the course of history by dropping out of the race so that Donald Trump could lose, and by doing so, could save the planet from World War III and the extermination of, every human on the planet who isn't Donald Trump, would you do it?
Well, first of all, John, it's a pleasure to be here. It's a pleasure to be asked a nice question by you. You know, I want to keep it positive here, okay? Sure, okay. I guess in some hypothetical world, if I happen to know that Donald was going to become like an Adolf Hitler or some terrifying combination of Mussolini, Hitler, and Osama bin Laden, sure, maybe I would try to talk to him. You know, I would use diplomacy. But when I was governor of Ohio, we had an $8 billion debt. And, by the end, we had a $2 billion surplus. So if there was someone you wanted to...
I mean, what? That's all you ever talk about is that fucking surplus. I mean, what's wrong? You're more of a robot than Marco Rubio.
Excuse me, if anyone is going to be called a robot, it's me. Please don't take that away from me. That's sort of all I have. So I'm the robot. You can't do that. My name was mentioned in the question, so I think I am allowed. I am not Barack Obama. I am not Barack Obama. I am not Barack Obama. I am not. Hands, short hands.
My penis is massive. All right, I'll just say it. I've got the greatest penis. It's the biggest penis. It's getting bigger. Every time you make fun of it, it gets taller. I can promise you that.
Give it up for yourself, Florida! Oh, very good. Okay, so Donald Trump has been making thousands of Floridians raise their right hands at a 30-degree angle and pledge to vote for him and not you. If you don't win in Florida, will you stay in the race?
I'm not going to lose Florida. Am I Florida?
Oh, I mean, that was pathetic. Can you believe it? I mean, this is your state. By the way, raise your hand if you like pizza. See? Look. Sir, are you a Nazi? Yeah, that doesn't make him a Nazi. He raised his hand when I said he likes pizza. I mean, that's really it. That's all anyone's saying. And again, no, I'm not Hitler because I would have been better than Hitler. I can tell you something.
Ohio had $8 billion debt. And by the way, we had a $2 billion surplus.
Yeah, well, guess what? He's terrible for women. This is the media. You all have had it out for me from the beginning, ever since I invented Mexico, okay? You've all had it out for me, and it's not fair, and I'm a victim. I'm being bullied, and I don't like it. And I'll tell you something. When I'm president of the United States, there's not going to be any more bullying, okay? Bullying will be over. It's going to be called trumping. And I can promise you, it's a lot worse, because I will trump you so hard. If you mess with me, freedom of speech, gone.
And maybe he is working for Hillary. I mean, he certainly was pro-choice once.
Well, you're just a fucking piece of shit, bullshit face with boogers that come out of your nose. Because that's all anyone cares about. You can talk about the issues, you can talk about rule of law, you can talk about God, but all anyone cares about who is voting is about there was a booger, it came out of your nose, and you ate it, and you didn't give a fuck. I mean, you really didn't. You didn't give a fuck. You ran out of to give.
By the way, you're definitely up to $31 million at this point. I mean, it's getting very expensive.
Look, I shit $31 million.
That's 32.
Well, I fuck shit.
You know what? I'm ignoring you. I'm not counting anymore.
Great, ignore me, Tom Brokaw. That's right, America. Everybody ignore me, because that's going to work. In Art of the Deal, in chapter 15, it says, if President NATO of Mexico tells you you can't build a wall, you take over Mexico and you become the president. And that's what I'm going to do, because we're going to make America great again. And by the way, China's going to pay for it. They're going to pay for the war in Mexico.
You all can attack him. You know that, right? I mean, not all of you can suck on his teat. I can't believe I just said that. Yes, I can. I'm sick of this shit.
You're a piece of shit. That's what I think. You're a big fat orange piece of shit. You know what? Rubio didn't get it right. You got sausage fingers. That's all he had to say. You got little f***ing sausage fingers. And I want to eat them. And yet, you know what? Yeah, I know, Tom, it's going to cost me some money, but f*** it. Who cares? This is fun. This feels good. I feel alive. Oh, man, I haven't had this much fun since I was following fish. Let me tell you something, you piece of shit. I think you are the worst thing that's ever happened to the world, to the universe. You're worse than Hitler. You're worse than Alexander the Great. You're worse than Genghis Khan. F*** you, Donald Trump.
Oh, yeah, sure, super PACs. Yeah, great, you're all super PACs. Oh, sure, great, right. Who likes pizza?
Senator Cruz, how come that on the historic nature of your candidacy as a Canadian-born, Cuban descendant, you are so despised by Hispanics everywhere?
I don't think that's fair to say that I'm despised by Hispanics everywhere.
You lost Nevada to Donald Trump, who actually hates Mexicans.
Okay, all right. I will fight for Mexicans on a boat. I will fight for Mexicans on a float. I will fight for Mexicans in a coat. I will fight for Mexicans in a moat. I will fight for Mexicans with oats. I will fight for Mexicans and take notes. I will fight them. I will fight them with green eggs and ham. I will fight them, Sam I am.
There was a piece not too long ago that compared your candidacy to that of Andrew Jackson. He was also known for his parties. He opened up the White House to a public inauguration ceremony. How do you, if you do win the presidency, how do you plan to celebrate?
Well, first of all, it's going to be a great party. It's going to be any party Andrew Jackson ever had. It's going to be so great that not only are they going to take him off the $20 bill and put me on. My hair is much better than his, by the way. Mine slopes down like this, as you know, and his was crazy and all over the place. I mean, what a loser. I'll be on the 20, but I'll also be on every other bill. And everyone's going to get $20 bills if they come to my party, and there's going to be sex in every room. I mean, it's going to be like Eyes Wide Shut, except no masks. No masks. I take it back. Everyone has to wear a Trump mask.